All right, so we're going to try to set up a virtual lab on temperature effects and solubility of salts. And we're going to use the information that we get from this in order to construct a heating curve, not a heating curve, solubility curve. All right, so the first thing you need to do is you go to the link. It takes you to the Chem Collective Virtual Lab. And then you want to set up your workbench. So the first thing you do is you scroll down to the very bottom, and where you see it says 100 milliliters distilled H2O, we're going to click that twice. We need 2 of them. So we're going to go back. There we go. And then we're going to go back to the stockroom, and we're going to add 2 bottles. One is going to be sodium chloride. And let's put that underneath the flask it's going to go with. And go back to the stockroom. And we're going to add copper sulfate. It's all the way down here at the bottom. And put that with the other flask. The last piece of apparatus, equipment that we need is we need to go to Tools, then click on the Bunsen burner. As soon as it shows up, I don't know if this matters or not, but it seems like it gets a little picky after a while. You want to hit the down arrow and turn the amount of energy. Oh dear, I'm heating it up. So let's drag it out of the way. Turn down the amount of energy that it is delivering so that it's only 0.1 kilojoules per second. The reason why we do this is to get it so that the temperature is changing very slowly. And this is as low as we can set it. So let's just put that off in the corner for now. One of the few times you can actually leave a Bunsen burner unattended. So what you want to do is you want to drag your, I'm going the wrong way, drag your sodium chloride over the flask, and we are going to measure out 40 grams. So we're just going to put a 40 in the window and hit pour of sodium chloride into the flask. So then we're going to hit X and just put this off to the side. So we're going to get kind of confused with these 2 different flasks. They both have the same name. So we're going to right click on this Erlenmeyer flask with the sodium chloride in it, and we're going to rename it 40 grams NaCl. And then you hit rename. Do the same thing with the copper sulfate. So we put it over it. Nope, I didn't do it right again. That way. I'm fairly new to this too. So we got 60 grams in this one, because copper sulfate is a little bit more soluble than sodium chloride is at the temperature range we're going to be talking about. And then you click pour as before, X out that window, put the copper sulfate bottle off to one side. Notice that your copper sulfate solution turns blue, which is supposed to. I think that's a nice touch. And then you want to rename this. So we're going to right click on the blue flask, hit rename, and it's going to be 60 grams CuSO₄. And it's okay that it won't subscript. Alright, so now what we want to do, and this is probably going to take 2 people, you want to select the sodium chloride, and we're going to wait until it stops changing. So the first thing you're going to write down on your data sheet is that at 25 degrees Celsius, we have 3.65 grams of sodium chloride that has not dissolved. We're going to do some math later on. Right now we're just going to focus on how much has not dissolved. Then what you want to do is we're going to put the 2 of them together so that it's heating it up. And one person watches the temperature. You can actually watch it over here on the actual flask. That might make it easier. And then they will say, all right, 30 degrees. We're going to do it every 5 degrees. And then the other person who's watching the grams is going to write down just the first we'll say just the first 2 digits, because that's about all we can label anyway. So I missed it, so we'll say that it was 3.3 grams at 30 degrees. And then you keep heating it up, and then when it hits 35, we're going to write down what that was. So there's 34, so we've got to go a little bit longer. 950, so 3.2. And so because of the looking back and forth and trying to get everything synced up, there's going to be a little bit of variability, but that's okay. And then once you get all the way out to 80, hopefully by that point it should have completely dissolved all of the sodium chloride. Then we're going to switch to doing the copper sulfate instead. Let me see, can I turn this up? No, I'm not going to turn it up. That would just mess it. So when you want to switch solutions, you just click on this box underneath the Bunsen burner. It says disconnect. And we can't do it while it's cooling down because it actually cools down faster than it warms up. So now we're going to bring our copper sulfate down here where it's nice and easy to see. We see that at 25 degrees Celsius, it has 35.9 grams worth of copper sulfate that has not yet dissolved. So then we just get it started heating up, and just like before, every 5 degrees you're going to write down to 1/10 of a gram how much is remaining, and you just keep doing that until you hit 80 degrees, and that should give us some decent data to plot. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for listening.